Hello, online crew. Guess who's back home in my chair, ready to get back into routine with you guys? I really missed my normal, regular live. So it's been a bit weird traveling and not being on my normal schedule, but it's very exciting to be back. And so I just want to share a little bit with you today about my trip and the lessons learned from Vegas and the speakers and all of that. I just want to share that with you. And I've just realized the one of the most biggest highlights of my trip was winning the belt, and I didn't even bring it here. It's upstairs. It's like, oh, I don't have long enough to whip up back upstairs and grab it. So I'll do that on my next live because it's huge. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I've just been in Las Vegas for it was just over a week to attend what was called Digital Networker Live. So it was a huge conference for anybody, in the network marketing, online marketing, digital marketing space, and you wanting to learn the latest and greatest tips and tools and strategies for building a business online successfully. And at that event, I got recognized for being a six-figure earner in this industry, and I got this amazing belt, and I can't believe I forgot it. So on my next live, I'll hold that up and you can see how big it is. But it was an amazing trip. It's good to be home. It's cold. I've gone from 45 Celsius every day, which if you're in Fahrenheit, that's well over 100, I believe, to winter again. So it's been a bit strange. And we are not unscathed from travel problems. Luggage didn't arrive when we got to America. So our connection from where we live in Australia to the eastern side of Australia to get from there to LA, there wasn't enough time apparently for our baggage to get off our domestic flight to get on the international flight. So we've arrived in LA, we've gone to pick up our bags, and there's no bags there. And somebody from the airport sort of must have seen my face, and he said, "Oh, what are you looking for?" I said, "Like, my luggage." He's like, "What's your name?" Like, Helen Martin. He's like, "Yep, yours is the one out of the 11 people that their luggage didn't make it from Australia." So we had to wait. It was just over a day and a half for our luggage. So, and Paul's got COVID. So on our 29-hour trip home, so that's 4 airports, 3 flights, hours and hours of travel, Paul started to fade, on our way home. And by the time we got home, he was not too well. So we tested him in the car because I've got kits in my car because I see my dad in the nursing home every day and you have to test before you walk in the door. But I can't see my dad at the moment because I'm a close contact. So all of that, and I've got one of my sons home today. So I've got 2 sick boys in the house today. But the joys of travel. But how are you all? Who's here with me live? Say hello. Oh, we've got Saab. I got to meet Saab in person. Nothing like meeting people in person. It's a huge task getting from places, traveling, somewhere like Australia and, where Saab is, to get to the event in the US, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I met Cherie as well, which was amazing. Hello, Cherie. Good to see you on. We've got Dan. Welcome home. Thank you, Dan. Hello, Rosemary. Good to see you on. Hello, Yvette. I got to meet Yvette as well, which was awesome. Nice to see you back again from Olive. So happy you had an amazing trip. Thank you. Olive, I got to meet a few years ago, which was awesome. Hello, Beth. Good to see you on. It was so lovely to meet you in person. Absolutely. How is Paul doing? He is getting better every day. Obviously, he's still isolated upstairs in our bedroom and ensuite, but he is getting better every day. So that's good. Thank you very much from Donna, I think that was. You left just in time as the main street of Vegas flooded on Thursday. You kidding, Dan? Yeah, so we left Tuesday night. Interesting. There was talk of floods when we were there. One of the bars that we went into at night, all the chairs were like leaning up against the bar, like don't sit there. And we were like, why can't we sit on the edge and overlook the street? And they're like, oh, they're predicting major rain. That was a couple of days before that. Bless Paul. Thank you, Saab. I didn't know that, Dan. So thanks for sharing that. Back to normal again. Getting there. Hopefully they get better soon. Absolutely. So glad to have you back. Good to be back, Beth. Sorry about your son being sick, but I did test Zach this morning and he's not come up positive for COVID. So hopefully it's just a little bit of a cold. Hi, Nervaline. Good to see you here. Okay, so what I want to share with you today is just a bit of a summary about the whole experience, what we kind of learnt, some of the things that I'm going to share with you, also in the coming weeks, some of the content, because I'm sure some of you would love to know what was discussed that wasn't at the event, some of the things that are trending that was spoken about at the event that perhaps you should pay attention to, and just a few other things. I did want to remind you on my next live, so tomorrow we've got Clubhouse and then I'll be on my next live the next day, I will be opening up registrations for the Lead Generation Bootcamp 2.0. So I did this bootcamp a few months ago and a lot of you got a ton of value out of that, and it really opened your eyes to how to get leads on social media. So I'm doing the Lead Generation version 2.0 in a couple of weeks' time, and registrations are going to open up in 2 days. So stay close with me and keep an eye out for that when I announce that in 2 days' time, because a lot of you, even if you've been through it before a few months ago, I would highly recommend you go through it again, because your business can't grow unless you got leads. Unless you're filling the top of your funnel and you've got lots of people to talk to and you've got lots of leads, coming in, then your business just doesn't grow. If you're not talking to anybody, if you're not connecting with new people, how are you going to grow your business? So getting leads is something that should be on the forefront of your mind. And so I would really encourage you, completely free, to jump on that boot camp when I open it up in a couple of days. Okay, so just wanted to let you know that that's coming. So I just want to share with you a few things. First thing is just traveling in general. If any of you are going to travel internationally anytime soon, I just really encourage you to organise everything really early as possible. The COVID rules are changing all the time. Different countries require, different requirements to get in, different requirements to get out. If we travelled 2 months ago, we wouldn't have been able to leave the US. Now, thankfully, in the last couple of months, they've changed the rules in Australia that you don't have to test to get back into the country and sort of prove that you're positive. But 2 months ago, that was the case. So we would have got stuck in the US. So every country is a little bit different. I would just really encourage you, if you're traveling, just to make sure that you check all of that stuff. And the other thing I've probably learned, and I've traveled a lot and never really thought about this because it hasn't been an issue, but this time it was, is I probably would put at least underwear and a toothbrush in your hand luggage, just in case your luggage doesn't arrive. It's not a very nice feeling traveling. I mean, you guys might not have to travel as long as I have to from Australia, but any kind of lengthy sort of flight, when your luggage doesn't arrive, it kind of really puts you out of sorts. It's not only clothing, but just, being able to have a shower and brush your teeth and have clean underwear and stuff like that. So just on a personal level regarding traveling, make sure you get organized really, really early. A lot of you would know the issues I had with my passport before I left. But all those kind of things, COVID restrictions, they're changing all the time. And, perhaps pop a couple of things in your hand luggage just to prepare for the fact that if your luggage didn't arrive, you can sort of cope. Luckily, we had friends already at the event that actually went and did a mad dash shopping, and they bought us underwear and they bought us toothpaste and they bought us some snacks and stuff like that. So when we arrived at the hotel, that was all sitting waiting at reception for us. So we had a few things to get us by until our luggage arrived like the next evening, like the next day evening. So that's just a couple of things about traveling. I will say, and those of you that are listening live that did meet me, how cool was it to be back in person? There is absolutely nothing like that human interaction. We do the best we can through social media, through this little, these little cameras here, but there is nothing like, that human connection. So I just encourage you, when you have opportunities for a company event, or like an online community like this one, or similar communities, just embrace it and get there, and don't let the excuses hold you back, because the rewards far outweigh any kind of cost that you have in time and money. It is really, really expensive to travel. particularly from Australia. Just our travel insurance alone was $800 just for travel insurance. Crazy, crazy stuff. So, I know that some of you would have, restraints financially, but just make it happen, because there's just nothing better than mingling with like-minded people to yourself to refuel you, fill your cup. Just have those conversations regarding business and what's working and what's not working, and mingling with mentors. There's just nothing that beats that. I love the online world. I love the community that we have there, the people that I've still never met in person. But there's nothing like being in person. Would you agree? To those of you that have traveled recently or were at the, DNL, just that connection that you can have, and having a few drinks and, things like that. There's nothing like it. So I highly encourage you to not make excuses when it comes to, getting an event that would be important to you. Okay. Now, I just want to run through some things, and I will be bringing you some of this content moving forward, but these are some of the things that was a real common theme, and it's so congruent with what I teach you guys here. All the speakers, it was crazy. It was just like, there it is again, there it is again, there is it again, there it is again. And it's, basically building the business in this day and age in 2022. It is all about relationship building. It is all about being a human before a marketer. It is, I'll give you a little story. I doubt that they're listening, but somebody was DMing me in Instagram when I was away. So we'd traveled how many hours to get there. We're at the event. I'm doing the conference by day. We had cocktail parties every night. Lots of people to talk to and mingle with, like it's busy. So I had, get this, somebody DM me on Instagram and said, "Hi, Instagram people," anyone watching up there. And the message was something like, I can't even remember if they used my name or not. I can't quote that. But I have a question for you. This was the message. I have a question for you. Do you have too many leads in your business to handle? Or something like that. It was a question like that. Do you have way too many leads in your business that you can handle? Now, most people are going to say no to that. So it wasn't, "Hi, Helen, it's nice to connect with you. I can see you traveling at the moment. Just wanted to say hi," something like that. Like, it's not hard to go and, if you're sending somebody a DM, like a stranger, for the first person to go, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, to go to their feed, just see if there's any recent posts. So if they'd done that, they would have known that I'd been traveling. They would have known that I was in Vegas. They would have actually known that I'd been on stage and all this kind of stuff. But there was none of that. It was just, "Hi, I've got a question for you. Do you have too many leads in your business to handle?" Now, because it was that kind of message, I didn't respond. I had better things to do. It was a very business, highly targeted message. Would you agree? And so it's just like, oh, I haven't got time for that. If that person messaged me and said, "Hi, Helen, lovely to connect with you. I can see you're traveling at the moment. Looks really exciting, whatever," I probably would have responded and said, "Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, it's really busy, but it's awesome, whatever." And I would have connected with that person. But because of the question they asked, 100% business, I don't know them, they're a stranger, I ignore them. 2 days later, while we're in Vegas, I got another message under that just bumping this up to the top of your feed, because I know the DMs can get busy. So again, probably hasn't looked at my feed, knowing what I'm up to, no personal interaction, whatever, just wanted their question answered regarding, do I have too many leads in my business to handle? So again, I ignored it, because it wasn't, my whole mantra about being a human before a marketer, it wasn't personable to me. It was just asking me about leads, and I didn't have time for it. And it's like, well, they're not connecting with me as a human, so I left it again. So we get home, and guess what the third message was? "Ha ha ha, have you dropped off the face of the earth?" That was the third message. Or, "Have you dropped off the face of this earth? LOL." So first message, second message, so still nothing personal. And then the third message is, "Have you dropped off the face of the earth? LOL." So I'm thinking, okay, if that's the game you want to play, Did it get a reaction? Yeah, it did, because I got pissed off. And I ended up saying to this person, hey, use their name. Um, I've been in Vegas, I've been traveling, I've been speaking on stage. We've just got home. My husband's very sick with COVID. Sometimes there are things going on in people's life other than answering a question. And I quoted her question. Have you got too many leads in your business that you can handle? And I said on the end of it, I'm not having a go, but my whole mantra is to be a human before a marketer. And if you'd actually said hello and just connected with me as a person, I would have answered, because I always answer. But when somebody's just, I can see their agenda behind it, and I'm really busy doing other things, I didn't answer. But I actually said, I actually find your third message quite rude. The reason I haven't answered is blah, 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 blah. And, I think they've unfollowed me now. And there probably won't be much conversation. But to make my point, what I'm sharing with you is at the event, I reckon every speaker honed in on, we need to be human. It's not their language, this is my language. We need to be humans before we're marketers. Like, it is all about relationship building. We are in a relationship business, aren't we? So strong theme. And I reckon I heard it. This is something I say quite often. And I reckon I heard it from about 4 different speakers, because I'm in tune with this kind of language. So I hear it when other people wouldn't. Is that saying that I say, people don't necessarily remember what you say, but they absolutely will remember how you make them feel. And you would know that to be true. There's people that you would look up to, gurus that you look up to, and you can't really remember the content that they've taught you, but you remember that you get a feeling that they care, and their vibe and things like that. Does that make sense? So I really, really encourage you to just, whatever it takes, stop trying to be so businessy. Because the more you're a human and the more you relate to people and just communicate with people as just general conversation, and you build on that and you don't give up, that's the thing. A lot of people want results. You want results yesterday. And if you don't get results in 3 months or 6 months, you're out of here. And a lot of you are ready to leave. But it takes time to build up relationships with people on social media that you don't know. So I just really encourage you to, just stop preaching. I would never say stop teaching, because that's what gets eyeballs on you when you give really good content out and you teach people things. But you really want to be as personable as you possibly can and let your walls down, okay? Because that's what's going to help you win on social media. So other things that really came out strong was the power of Facebook groups. Some of you may not have groups. Some of you do, but the power of groups, particularly in network marketing, to have like a customer group and a business group and, a funnel where you can feed people. So really, really important in our industry. I learned a few new tools that I haven't used before. Some of the resources they don't make available in Australia, so I'm a bit limited. Like, if any of you know what Project Broadcast is, it's actually a text messaging service. They don't offer that to me in Australia, so I can't use that. But there are amazing tools. But there is another tool that I'm looking at the moment for my network marketing team that I think is going to really help them. So more about that later. My presentation was all on content creation. And I've had some amazing feedback from that. And there's some stuff that I taught at DNL that I haven't even taught my coaching community. So coaching community people, watch out for that, because I think one of the biggest things people struggle with is, what do I post? What do I post? And it holds you guys back sometimes with overthinking, what to post, or you're just not planning it out, appropriately. So I've got some good stuff coming for you regarding content creation. And I just want to share with you, Ray Higdon. Who knows Ray? Just say yes in the comments if you know who Ray is. Phenomenal presentation. And it wasn't really businessy. It was very much, I guess you could call it mindset. But I just want to share with you, because I wrote them down, his 3 mantras. And if you don't know who Ray is, Ray was very successful in the industry and number one in his company many moons ago. And then he went into full-on sort of coaching and training to, people in the industry like me. So I'm one of his life members of when he first opened up his rank makers thing years ago. So these are the three things that is Ray's three mantras. I just want to share this with you. 1, help the person you used to be. So we all grow, we all learn, we all sort of move through life, and as long as you stay close to communities like mine and other communities and you keep the personal development up, you can't help but grow if you put the effort in. So his number 1 mantra is help the person you used to be. Number 2, we have to be as brave as the people that need us. So sometimes when you get a team or people that rely on you or look up to you or learn from you, you're teaching other people to be brave and do things, but we can't be, afraid to still continue to be brave ourselves. There are things in this industry that you don't want to do, I don't want to do, and they take being brave, but you have to lead by example and keep being brave. So I'll just read it again. We have to be as brave as the people who need us. Okay, so like a team and things like that. The third one, let me never be so busy saving strangers that I neglect my own. Let me never be so busy saving strangers to neglect my own. So basically, you've got to look after your own backyard before you can help other people online or help people in your network marketing team. Like nothing is more important than your immediate circle of family and never letting that slide. And he gave a few examples of that and stories. Like you really need to get the whole context of his life to sort of really understand these three mantras. But something that really stood out was his journey in fixing himself in relation to, he had big issues with his father. And once he mended those issues with his father and they came back together sort of as a family, then his business skyrocketed after that. So he talked a lot about how the past can actually control us. And then maybe if there's anything standing in your way or there's still something that's holding you back regarding family or something that happened in your past or somebody that's got some kind of hold over you that you still let bother you and stress you out today, you've got to go and deal with that before you can have a really amazing, successful business. So it's, you guys all know this, it's more about, you've got to fix the inner self and not look to the outer self to get gratification. You've got to be truly happy within yourself and work through things that hold you back, that that hold you back before you can obviously have an amazing business online. But Ray's talk was amazing. So I just wanted to share that with you. The other thing he mentioned is he did a live video every day for 12 years. And the only reason that he stopped is he realized he was using that for self-gratification because he wasn't happy within himself. So it was kind of like, I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but you're trying to he was trying to prove himself to the world. That was kind of like where he put all his self-worth in and pride is I do a live video every day and have done for X amount of years and X amount of years. And he did it for 12 years. A live video every day for 12 years. And then it suddenly hit him that, why am I doing this? Why am I pushing myself? Why am I pushing, my family aside to do this for the business? And it came down to a lack of self-worth. And that was something that made him feel good on the outside, but it certainly wasn't, coming from the inside. So he stopped, he fixed himself and, he's a very successful man. Okay. So, yeah, and in one of his slides, he had how your personal past impacts your business leadership. He's got a video on that. So don't be disillusioned that, things that you're hanging on to with relationships or hurt or betrayal or, whatever it is, you've got to let that stuff go and work through it before you can ever be amazing, in a business. We also learned about Reels, TikTok. Something that hugely came through strong was duplication and systems and things like that. So it's something that I'm looking at more for my network marketing team. Referral posts regarding customers. That was a great talk by Bryn Lang about how you can use other people's networks, not only your own. So I'll bring you some training on that later as well. onboarding systems via text message. We went through DMO and WMO, so a daily method of operation, weekly method of operation. One of the speakers spoke about that. Mentorship, the value of mentorship, all of that, and creating influence. How do you create influence online? So there was a lot of content. Those who were at the event would know how valuable, that content was. So what I'm going to do for you guys is, obviously over time and the weeks to come, is to bring you bits and pieces of what I learned and, would like to bring to you. So I hope you'll find that helpful in the time to come. What I would also encourage you to think about, and from my experience, is embrace getting involved with a community. If I wasn't involved in, the DNL community, I wouldn't be asked to speak on stage in Vegas. I wouldn't have been awarded that amazing belt, which I'll show you on my next live. Doors open when you get yourself known in certain communities and you show up and you comment, make your name known to me. The reason that Laurie Indris and Beth Frederick are, in my online crew concierge team, because they're always here, they're always commenting, they're doing things, they're supporting me even when they don't have to. There's an integral part of our online crew community here. Get your name known. That's what I did. Any opportunity that was given to me, I just grasp it and run with it. And, it just opens so many doors. So don't do it alone. Within your network marketing company, or any kind of, if you're learning online marketing, digital marketing, like the community like mine, our online crew, embrace it, learn from it, get your name, out there so people know who you are, because that will open doors for you as well. It's just crazy how things can lead to, and I just want to share with you, this is not my background. I was working full on in the corporate world, only really, a few years, 5, 6, I've been in this world for 5 years now, but I knew nothing about network marketing, online marketing, social media, building a community, nothing, 5 years ago. And as long as you work hard, you align yourself with people that actually teach you things, that are in the industry themselves, doing what they're teaching you, and somebody that's just having some more success than you, that's already walked in your path, so you can learn from their mistakes and not do it alone. Just anything's possible for any one of you. If you lock arms with the right people, you're always willing to learn, and you just never give up. And you're just really, really good at building relationships on social media. That's the key, I think, to all of this. Because if people don't like you, they're not going to buy anything off you or follow you or, go into business with you. And if you're all business on social media, people can't get to know the cool person that you are. All of you have got personality traits that people would warm to. We're all different. Some people will warm to you and not me, and vice versa. There is enough people out there in the internet world for every single one of you to have a huge following of your own. Just find your own voice and find your own platform and build your brand, and just be really authentic and genuine about it, and stop overthinking everything. Make sense? So I hope that helpful in some way. I just wanted to share a bit of my experience, and I'll bring the belt on my next live. I'm just going to read a couple of comments. Cherie, building relationships is so important. So important, Mike. This is so true. Thanks, Mike. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Good to see you on. Absolutely. Looking forward to the trainings. Awesome. Oh, thank you. You crushed it in Las Vegas. That's so kind of you. I really appreciate your comment there. Amazing of you to share all this knowledge with us, Helen. Thank you. My pleasure. Very encouraging words there from Donna. Awesome, Helen, and thank you for sharing today. Awesome value. So, just continue to show up and learn, but don't just learn. Actually put into action what you're learning. And the things that you hear over and over again, they're your clues to go and action sort of certain things, so you can get some more momentum online and, build an amazing business for yourself. So I'm right here behind you as your captain. This is just a little bit of fun, but you know, I'm here for our online crew, you know, and to bring you the goods in the coming weeks with, you know, more stuff that I can teach you and train you. So don't forget, we've got Clubhouse tomorrow. We're talking about how you can hook people in. So if you're not familiar with Clubhouse, if you just go to helenmartinonline.com/events, or you go to my website, helenmartinonline.com, and you'll see the information there. You'll see the link to join us on Clubhouse. You just got to download the Clubhouse app and then click on the link, and that'll take you to our discussion tomorrow. And then the next day, I'll be opening up for the Lead Generation Bootcamp 2.0, so you don't want to miss that. So thank you. If you found me live again, because I've been out of routine for the last couple of weeks, it's awesome to be back. Thank you for being live with me, and I look forward to seeing you on my next live. Bye, everyone.